pulled over.
This time of year, emotions can be hard to recognize, especially with all the distractions and seeing family. Former U.S. Marine and expert on mental toughness, Rittmeyer, is here to share what emotional healing is and how it can impact us. So let's talk about that. What is emotional healing? How does it differ from therapy?
So I think that the most important thing, Shannon, is to recognize that we're emotional creatures. We should get emotional. We should get upset. We should get happy.
Right.
Wide range emotions are a wonderful thing. I think a lot of times when we experience trauma, we feel like we're the only one going through this. We feel like we're alone. We feel like we shouldn't feel a certain way. It's like it's okay to experience these things. It actually helps us to develop coping mechanisms as we get into other relationships that maybe will strengthen them.
That is so true. So what are the signs that you have some maybe emotional baggage or you need emotional healing?
Yeah, I think the main thing is when we start to withhold how we feel in relationships. I use the analogy of like going to a gas station, you walk in the front door and you hold the door for somebody and they don't say thank you, right? It drives me nuts. I can't stand people do that. And you're at the counter and you're all upset. That person walks out the door. Well, you go to leave and somebody totally different walks out behind you. And in your mind, you're thinking, you know what, I'm not going to hold the door for this person. The last person.
So it just continues.
But then you hold the door and the person's like, thank you so much for holding the door for me. Like, have a wonderful day. That's a nice shirt. So I think what I'm trying to say is we can't allow the way we were hurt in prior relationships dictate how we treat other people.
True, true. So if you notice that maybe you do have things you need to deal with, what should you do?
You have to get to the core of the issue, right? So it's great to have people we can rely on. It's great to people we can talk to. And it's developing what I refer to as an emotional vocabulary, like a way to get very in-depth. What's the root cause of why you're feeling, how you're feeling, and then instead of trying to suppress that feeling, just learn to cope with it. Learn to get skills to help with things that we can, so again, it doesn't adversely impact relationships on people that had nothing to do with what happened in the past.
Right. We're going into the holidays, and I think this topic just becomes that much more important. We're going to be seeing family members, maybe people that kind of trigger you a little bit. How do you recommend kind of coping with that and making sure that you are ready for that?
So this is a very difficult time of year for lots of people. It brings up lots of emotions. People that have lost family members. This is very, very difficult. Actually, Dr. Thomas Boyce is his name. He's a pediatrician and researcher. He came up with this concept of the dandelion versus the orchid, and it's all about how we handle difficult situations and how we heal. Dandelions are very resilient, right? They just can weather the storm. They can get through it. Orchids are much more sensitive. You know, they're more sensitive to exterior stuff. It's okay if you're a dandelion. It's okay if you're an orchid. Recognize that we all heal differently because you're struggling more than someone else. Everybody's normal. We all heal in our own way. Just recognize that you have to get through the tough storms on the other side, but there's normally green grass.
That is so true. Do you think everyone can take a little bit of this for themselves?
100%. Especially it's about recognizing the emotion, understanding that the feeling is okay. Do not try to suppress it.
Right.
It is okay to trust again. It's okay to build relationships with people even after you've been hurt, but it's at your own pace. You can't let anybody else dictate how you heal.
I think that's the most important thing, just being real with yourself.
You have to be. Then surround yourself with people you love. And again, this time of year for the holidays, it can be a very difficult time for people that have lost family members or they went through hard relationships. They might have lost pets. You know, people get very attached. I lost my dog 10 years ago. I had to have her put down. I'm not a huge animal person. I can't get another animal because I'm still healing from 10 years ago.
Yeah, and you never know how it's going to impact you. So, Eric, some great tips there. We really appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having me, Shannon. I appreciate it.
Thanks.